This may not be a horror story, but it scares and freaks me out whenever I think about it. This happened when I was in middle school and I'm 25 now. Me and some members of my family was in Louisville, Kentucky for the sheep show. It was in November on or around Veterans Day. We have been staying at this Best Western ever since I can remember. This hotel wasn't in the best section of town, but we've never had problems. Other than random people coming up to my dad in the hotel parking lot asking for money. This Best Western was really nice, and had this beautiful dark woodwork in the lobby. We were settling in our rooms for the night after a long day at the Expo Center. My mom and dad was in the bed closest to the room door, and me and my cousin, both girls, were in the bed, next to the window and balcony. There was a 2-story McDonald's across the road from the hotel we always thought was cool. My grandparents, my mom's mom and dad, was in the adjoining room next to ours. Some friends of my parents were down the hallway from us. I think we were on the 3rd or 4th floor. I remember waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of sirens outside. I remember my cousin kinda waking up too. We didn't think much of it, so we just went back to sleep. When we woke up in the morning and started to get ready for the day, my mom asked me and my cousin if we slept good last night. We said yes, but we got woken up by sirens outside. My mom told us there was a shootout last night in the parking lot of the hotel. Our eyes just got wide and were like, what? My mom said that they heard some kind of commotion outside our hotel room, and my dad stuck his head out the door to see what was going on. The guys were on our floor and in the elevator. I don't think they were shooting inside the hotel, but they still had their guns and was yelling at each other. My mom pulled my dad back inside the room and said, "What the hell are you doing? You could have gotten your head blown off." My dad just looked at her and said, "Oh, well," and chuckled about it. She also told us that when my dad and Jim, his friend, went down for breakfast, there was blood in the hallway and one of the elevators. We just couldn't believe what we were hearing. After we get ready and head downstairs to go back to the Expo Center. We get out to the parking lot to our grandparents' van, and it's not there where we left it the night before. Laying on the ground where the van used to be was the familiar white and red empty back of Marlboro cigarettes my grandpa smokes. So, now we're all freaking out thinking that the shooters last night stole the van and kidnapped our grandpa, as we couldn't find him that morning. So we go back into the hotel to look for grandpa. We finally found my grandpa, and turns out he was across the street at the 2-story McDonald's getting coffee and smoking. We asked him where the van was, and he said he moved it to the side of the hotel. Needless to say, no one in my family was hurt or killed, or anyone else staying in the hotel that night. That was the last year we stayed at that Best Western. Next year we found a hotel that was in a nicer area and closer to the sheep show. Oh, and Ps, I do believe the shooters were arrested. This content was provided by angelotricarico.com.